Good morning. A little phlegmy again today. What can I say? I called today Thursday Troubles because, frankly, I didn't have a title. And so I yanked that one out of my butt. Oh, why can't they make this every other week, man? It's like 6 days in a row, one day off, then another 6 days in a row. They wonder why people are going insane. It's going to be in the 80s today here. And I can't find my windbreaker. I'm gonna probably leave this thing in the car. I don't like it's just I'm still damp from yesterday. This jacket, I mean, because sure enough, I'm out there on break. It starts raining, and I go in to get packed up, go in the back inside, and it stops raining. So this week's the big one, the Interstellar Song Contest. Where we're allegedly going to have all these, big reveals about Miss Flood, and I'm kind of on edge a little bit because I'm really hoping the one Reddit leak is false. Like I said, I do not want another bi generation in the storyline, and that's what they're talking about, a bi generation of the Ronnie, and that's who Miss Flood is. And like I said, it could be misinformation, and that's what I'm hoping it is. One of the things you got to do when you're looking at stuff, especially if it comes out on Reddit, I believe it was Jim Mars who once said you got to remember to put your skepticals on, because a lot of things get leaked out on Reddit are deliberate misinformation. Or people just, touching themselves in funny ways as they make shit up. Um, so, yeah, we're one step closer towards the end of this particular series. You see, this is what's weird. They put out the teaser trailer for Fallout Series 2. I love they got everybody walking around in Santa hats, but they don't want to give a date for the release of the episode because I don't think they know what day it's going to be. And now I'm going to be sitting here biting my nails, chewing off the sides of my fingers, waiting to see that because I never really played New Vegas. I tried it and I didn't like it. It's just once you've played Fallout 4, you try to go back to 3 or any of the others, and it's the graphics. Like I said, I didn't like the way they handled power armor in the Fallout 3, and the graphics were nowhere near on par as they were on 4. Plus, power armor, you just 1 minute you're standing there next to, oh, look, you got power armor on. 4 is where they finally showed you the animation of how power armor goes on and all that stuff. I know I should have taken Doctor Who news off this one because I really don't have much. Other than we're on countdown to this, particular episode. Oh, it's just weird watching the world, Now people are out there screeching about Last of Us Series 2, and I'm like, guys, if you knew anything about the games, and if you knew anything about, like I said, I watched the playthroughs long before there was a series. You knew what was going to happen. Spoiler alert, Pedro Pascal's character of Joe dies. Or Joel, or what, I can't remember what it is. And it was fairly early into that game, he croaks. Now, this whole weird storyline about, the relationship with this new character, I don't remember that much about it, to be honest with you. It's like, I'll have to go back and rewatch and see where that's all coming from. But, well, yeah, I'm looking forward to Interstellar Song Contest. This one looks like it's going to be an interesting one. Then again, they've all been pretty interesting, come to think of it. And hopefully we're going to finally at least get a crack in the door or a foot in the door as to who the hell Miss Flood is. Because they've been dragging this out and dragging this out. And speculation, of course, has run rife. People have been going crazy, going nuts. on who this character could be. And oh, one of the singers is from Tryon, huh? Okay, I didn't notice. I've got a me sauce triangle on my butt. That's nasty. Sounds contagious. Oh. I know, it sounds to me like they're just making you wait. They probably hacked a bunch of shit out of there so they could slam it onto the finale. Ugh, 44 minutes. Are they joking? It's getting ridiculous. We can waste, 2.5 minutes on a needless musical number, but, when it comes to a key episode, you're getting towards the end of the line. 44 minutes. Are you joking? I've taken shits that lasted longer than 44 minutes. If you don't believe me, ask Lady G. I know, I love how feature length, became anything just over an hour. 75 minutes is feature length. Guys, Monster Squad was 110 minutes, okay? 75 minutes is, or no, wait, no. Monster Squad was just over an hour. It was like an hour and 10 minutes, sorry. Yeah, Monster Squad was 70 minutes. Yeah, it was only... Because I remember, that's right, it was nowhere near 2 hours, Monster Squad. Still a good movie. I still enjoy it, but... Please don't let them remake that or Goonies. And I love how people are still falling for the Goonies, 2 thing. Guys, the cast of Goonies has been talking about a quote-unquote Goonies 2 for like 40 years now. Or, since it's never going to happen. Just like everyone's going, there might be a reboot of Firefly. No, there's not. If there was going to be a reboot of Firefly, Joss Whedon would have spent one of his God knows how many millions of dollars to get the series back and do it himself, but he hasn't bothered. That's why I should have just called today Thursday Trouble, because I want to be wandering all over the place on this one, okay? It's just... There's so many other weird things going on in the world other than Doctor Who. Like, I was watching a documentary the other day. You know how distracting it is to try to watch a documentary? Especially when it's about, say, a crime syndicate. And it gets to the point, literally every other frickin' word is beeped out. It was about this big crime ring that involved, shall we say, the trafficking of children. And how this happened in Belgium, apparently, back in the day. And every other word, beep, 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 beep. Can't say abuse. Beep. And then the one guy was talking about a drug cartel. Can't say drugs. Yeah, can't say kill, murder, shoot, shot. But I mean, it just got so distracting. I'm like, of course, I bet you go to their Patreon, you get the unedited video. Well, they were talking about, wasn't there supposed to be a Gremlins reboot? Allegedly, but I'll have to go look. I could have swore they were talking about that for a while also, and have I seen a Doctor Who documentary? I've seen lots of Doctor Who documentaries. Is there anyone in particular? Well, there was always live action Power Rangers, Mark. Penny Joe Johnson used to make me have a lot of live action in my pants. Oh, God, sorry. Don't get me wrong, Trini was hot too. But okay. Oh, a new live action Power Rangers. Oh, there was one that talked about was narrated by Silver. One I remember was Sylvester McCoy, where he was talking about the end years. Now I can't remember the name of it to save my life. But there have been a few good ones here and there. Well, yeah, they've been saying that for years, Mark, so I'm not surprised. There's been this big conspiracy theory that there's private collectors who are holding on to the films of the missing episodes. That's been going on for decades. And no one's ever able to produce a proof of it. Also, if they haven't transferred that stuff off film, depending on the condition of the film, you know, oh heck, Liz Slade. There's been so many of them, and I can't remember all of them right now. You caught me off guard. Now I got to tweak the brain box again. Yeah, but they're saying the rest of them are being held by private collectors, and really, what's the point? You can't really, look, I got this film in it. If they haven't transferred it to another format, or they get that film, depending on what, I can't remember what type of film they shot it on, but there's also the big possibility you got to watch out because certain films degrade over an amount of time. I remember back when they lost a lot of films because the material A tended to degrade, and B the stuff was flammable as hell. Once it lit on fire, it was like gas going up. It was like, because they went back into one archive. I remember they were trying to play all these old films, and they were literally just coming apart. It was like I said, as much as I'd like to say, all the missing episodes are out there. Oh, good. Sophie's coming back. That's awesome. Probably promoting Boom. Like I said, she's always a great interview. She's always fun to talk to, and but me, like I explained on the one appearance did pop on there. Yeah, we've been working these 9-hour days, and usually by the time I get home, I'm a zombie. I was shocked I stayed awake all through the last part of Adolescence. We watched all that series this week, and that was a pretty ripping one. I'm like, hey, that was what the. Like I said, by the time I get home these days, I am dead. So I haven't really been listening to much anything. All right, there's been a lot of speculation about a regeneration at the end of this season. We're going to have to sit back, wait, and find out if everything's true. Like I said, I keep hearing from like 2 different people that Shooty's leaving, but at the same time, and it would explain why they suddenly had a bunch of reshoots later, as explained by Doctor Who film locations. So Like I said, I genuinely don't know. Like I said, I hope he's not, Mark. I really hope he's not. I hope it's false. I really am. I really do. I really hope it's false because I really enjoying his time as the doctor. I just sounded the foghorn. No, I hope y'all didn't hear that. Okay. It's the pizza rolls returning for revenge. Okay. Well, I got to run inside, guys. I just looked at the time. I'm already a minute over what I like to shoot for. So please take care of yourselves. Be kind, be calm, be safe. We'll catch y'all tomorrow. And remember, we also the Omega Files tomorrow evening, where we're going to talk about the story in the engine, and we'll be here Saturday. Yeah, there's been rumors about everybody. There's also been rumors about Jodie Whittaker possibly popping up at the end. So I've heard everything. So take care, everyone. We'll catch you on the flip side. Have a great day.